Welcome back to the channel, good friends. The shop manager is in a good mood today. We get to work on a 1977 Triumph Spitfire. This is single stage, and it has been resprayed at some point, and we're going to be bringing it back to its former glory, the painted finish, that is. So let's get going. The Spitfire introduced in 1962 and manufactured until the 80s. And in that time period, they pumped out 315,000 of these sports cars. Front engined, rear wheel drive, two passenger convertibles, designed by an Italian designer, Giovanni Michelotti. As you can see, we have scratches and swirls, and it's just adding to the overall dullness of the dark brown color here. And we're going to remove all those, bring back its gloss, bring the finish back to its former glory. And it has plenty of material, plenty of paint, single stage paint on the surface. That's important because it will open the door to many different types of options when it comes to bringing back this finish, whether it's wet sanding or compounding or multi-step correction. And just to show you the thickness we have, and that includes the primer, which was a lot thicker back then, protecting all of the metal panels on these vehicles. So many scratches and swirls, it really takes away from the reflected surface of this finish, and we're going to restore that. As usual at the shop here, we like to get the restoration back using the least amount of aggression used when we pick our tools and our pads and our correction fluids. So we're going to mask off 3 or 4 different test areas. We're going to skip the wet sanding and see if we can get away with light cutting compound, a medium cut, and then a heavy duty. And we'll also experiment with pads. I have 3 basic combinations starting off with the microcut M302. The F601 is equal to a 1-step, and then the H901 is your harsh, heavy-duty cutting compound, and they have the pads to match. We're going to start off with the M302 and its matching pad in this test spot, and we'll see if we can get away. I really doubt this is going to get the job done without doing many passes, but we're going to give it a shot. You never know. If we can get away with using just a micro cut compound and a pad, that would be fantastic. You can just as well use the rotary polisher for this purpose. Dual action polisher, nothing wrong with that either. I switch back and forth depending on the day just to keep things fresh. Today I have the dual action polisher. As you can see in this section, there's a little bit of improvement, but we have a long way to go. So we'll step up aggression just a little bit more in the next section. You can see with the swirl finder, still plenty of micro scratches, love marks, and swirls. Next up, F601, the fine cut, but this is pretty much equal to a nice balanced one-step polish. And we'll team that up with the pad meant to team up with it. They are color-coded to make it easy for you to put this team together.
So, when do you go tomorrow?
6 a.m.
Wish you weren't leaving.
Don't worry. Breakfast was rain.
Okay, this is getting a bit closer to what we're looking for. Now, what you could do is just multiple passes with this combination, and it will get the job done. We want to keep the temperatures down, so we want to do just 1 or 2 passes. So we're going to step it up just a little bit in the next test section. We don't want to take a huge jump to the cutting pad and the compound, but we'll go to the H901, but we'll stick with the one-step pad. They do have a dedicated one-step pad, the pad with the yellow fine cut markings on it will work as well. So that's where we're going to combine H9 with this pad and see if that gets the job done in 1 or 2 passes. I'm going to do a crisscross pattern, so that's going to be 2 passes. Let's see what we can get done. By the way, when I do reach for a dual action polisher, you'll see me with the ShineMate polisher here or the DeWalt, either one. The DeWalt's just a little bit heavier, but has a ton of power. Actually, both of the cordless polishers have plenty of power because they're brushless. I do have a video coming up on the DeWalt. I see a lot of people starting to ask about the polisher as I use it, and I'll do a dedicated video and tear it down for you. And this is even better yet. So this combination would work for me. If you need to, you can do another pass. Or you can grab the dedicated pad for the H9 cutting compound. But this here will work. We do have some deeper scratches right here. We could just hit them with 3000 grit or 2500 grit and polish out from there. So you can spot correct first. Go around, do your spot correction, and then use the combination that I just showed you. Okay, we have a game plan when it comes to the paint correction. Let's get everything ready. We'll tape off any moldings or trim that the backing plate and pad can bump up against and possibly damage. We also have a few areas where there's vinyl graphics. We're going to protect them as well. With those areas protected, I'm going to grab a panel prep and just go over the painted surfaces one more time, make sure there's no old waxes or sealants or anything that can get up into my pads, clog them, and make them less effective. And then we'll get started with the project. Okay, with the passenger side of the hood corrected, this is the turnaround that we have so far. And a little bit later, we'll get into what we're going to crust this single stage with so it doesn't end up being so absorbent and absorb all the protection that you could put on top of single stage. We're going to crust it, and then the protection will lay on top and will be a lot more effective. But let's get the correction done first. And with the help of the two brines, it doesn't take long at all to get this little vehicle corrected. We have some depth again. We have reflectivity, we have nice gloss and shine, and the color is back. All right, my favorite thing to do, especially on single stage after correction, is acrylic. And that is what's in clear coat. So it'll be a faux thin layer of clear coat, and that Extreme Solutions 403 or 404, depending on the color. We're going to use the one meant for dark colors, and that'd be perfect for this brown. And we're going to glaze it, and it will lay down a thin layer of acrylic protection. Then we're going to let that cure properly, and then any protection you lay over top will stay towards the surface, will not absorb deep into the single stage, making it a time-consuming project because it will take many layers to give it a nice, even, reflective look. I am teaming the LVR 403 up with a CarPro Gloss pad. Very soft, not very abrasive. You can go right over the vinyl stripes with this combination. Work a large enough section so the glaze has enough time to start to bond with the surface, and then it's slightly hazed at that point, and buff it off. When that step is complete and we let the acrylic cure properly, we're going to add gloss and wax. This is the cherry on top. Polymers, carnauba, all kinds of stuff thrown in this rich formula that gives it the slickness, the hydrophobics, and the gloss that this customer is looking for. I have a link leading to more information on the gloss and wax and pretty much everything I've used today in the description box. A great combination, especially on top of the acrylic. We're going to do this entire vehicle, the painted surfaces with this combination. And when we're done, we can take a deep breath, stand back, take the car outside, and enjoy. The customer was elated. He can't wait to hit the roadways and enjoy his toy. So we're going to do a quick walk around and let him get out there and do his thing. That's going to be it for today's video. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, don't hesitate. Put it down in the comments section. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.